Hey everyone, it's Relic here. We are back playing some more Age of Engineering. And yeah, been pretty busy since the end of the last episode. And I know I always say that, but in this case, it's particularly true. So yeah, I've been working on our building design. Now, I know that I said I wasn't going to get overly fussed about building anything fancy for this time round, that we wanted to just concentrate on the tech. But I wasn't really happy with the way that things were turning out. That last design that I was trying to cobble together, it really wasn't working for me. So I've come up with this. And I know it's still going to be a box, but yeah, it's going to be a pretty box at least. And I've used a little bit of chiseling bits around the windows. I'm not too fussed about showing this kind of stuff on camera for this series. Perhaps we'll do a bit later on. Show some other stuff, but yeah, I've got plenty of videos on doing this kind of stuff, and there's one particular video, if you look in my popular uploads, it's called Creating Detail with Chiseling Bits, where I show how to do arch windowways. But yeah, this is probably a better design than I had before, because previously I didn't have the inside as well, and I think that's because you couldn't chisel glass. So this is just the steel frame chiseled glass, just normal glass chiseled. And yes, I've been able to put that in the middle. But yeah, I didn't think that you used to be able to chisel glass, but seemingly you can now. I know for certain you couldn't chisel the Tinker's glass, but I thought that went for all glass types. So yeah, pretty happy with how it's going. Yeah, I guess the only comment is that I did originally, when I sort of envisaged doing this, was going to use normal bricks. But yeah, I really couldn't stomach the thought of having to go out and find all that clay. And this is nowhere near finished yet. This is going to go all the way back, and this is actually going to expand back further, because at the moment this is just kind of like, this is actually square and I want it to be more rectangular. So this is probably going to go back another 50% of what it is already backwards. But yeah, so anyway, pretty happy with how that is all coming together. And yeah, let's just look from the other side as well. Say yeah, pretty happy with it. That marble I really like. It's just chiseled trodden bricks. Yeah, I really like the way that it works for the supporting columns. And I'm probably going to do an arch doorway as well, but yeah, I kind of just ran out a bit of time. Did take quite a lot, although chiseling bits doing the windows and that was fairly rapid. Oh, hello, Mr. Sheep. Was fairly rapid, because it's pretty much just copy and paste once you've done the first design. I spent quite a lot of time just going out and getting all of the granite, to be honest. That did take an absolute age, and I think we've got some left, but not a huge amount. So that, yeah, there's only 147 pieces left. Was probably another reason why I stopped. So anyway, what else have I done? I changed the smeltery to a more regular 3x3 design, and sort of moved it over here. It is going to have to move again, because I do want it against one of the back walls, but because we're still going to expand this out a little bit further, I didn't want to move that. I've done nothing with the coke oven, except I've created a couple more of these tanks. I think you probably saw I'd done that before I finished the last episode, but yeah, I've used the advanced tanks from Neotech just because I kind of favour them over the mechanism tanks a little bit. And then we've just created some transfer nodes for that, which I'll come to in a second. I've also automated the moving around of the universal fluid, the fluid cans, tanks, whatever they're called. And that was pretty easy. It's simply, so that's the compressor where they're coming from. And this has literally got an item filter for full tanks. And then once they're finished in the blast furnace, an item filter for cells, for empty cells, and then it just passes it in a loop around. And yeah, I probably could, this is doing nothing, as is this is doing, yeah, sorry, that one's doing nothing, the other two are. But yeah, I probably could have changed it just so it didn't link there, but yeah, it's fine. It's not causing us any harm. I'm also aware we could have used the sorter from Industrial Craft 2, but yeah, it just looked quite faffy to make it when I'm quite familiar with doing this setup for passing items backwards and forwards. And the actual transfer node itself, is it's a little bit different. The recipe's changed a bit, so you still got the same setup for the node, but it's the actual transfer pipes. Requires the hopper ducts to make those. It's just a little bit more expensive, not much, but yeah, just enough just to make sure that you're not creating loads. And each recipe only creates one, rather than, I think it was like half a stack or a stack in sort of normal modded. But yeah, fine. So we've been able to automate that. I've not done anything about the generator yet. I didn't make any more blast furnaces because I think once we've got the initial steel that we need, and we've managed to get ourselves together the immersive engineering blast furnace, and we probably won't use this setup anymore. So yeah, I didn't really want to start spending resources that I really didn't want to spend making more blast furnaces, because then that is still going to use more coal anyway. But yeah, I think other people have noted it in their videos that this is quite an inefficient approach, just having the generator there with nothing on it to stop it taking coal. But yeah, I wasn't too worried about it, as I say, because we will be able to get into a position to get a bit of a tree farm going pretty soon, because we've got access to the progressive automation, to the tree chopper, which is kind of like one of my favorites to go with. But yeah, for now, yeah, I say I'm not too worried about it. Other than that, I've had a bit of a trip to the Nether, and I really had a good search to see if we could find a Nether fortress, because obviously part of the recipe for I think it was for the blast bricks actually, was that we needed blaze rods. Let's just have a look at blast brick. Yeah, so we need blaze powder for that. And yeah, I haven't found that yet. I've travelled for absolutely miles, so it isn't the greatest Nether spawn in the world, but yeah, whatever. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it as we get along. It's not going to hold us up for what I want to do in this episode too much anyway. And the other thing was I grabbed a load of glowstone just so that we could light up the floor. And if I just press F7 really quickly, there's only a couple of places where their X is, and I will have to sort those out for when we get the roof on there. But for now, this is just going to be open just with the walls around here. So we've got a little bit of protection. I can notice it on top of the bits and pieces as well, probably up there as well, on top of the portals. But yeah, I've got to say, this is the neon recipe. I remember in the old chisel, neon used to look a bit different for me. It was more of a whitey colour. But yeah, since the update to 1.10, it has changed. It doesn't look too bad, but yeah, I'm not loving this all about on the floor. The white colour probably would have been a bit better. And once we get sort of further down the track and we get into some immersive engineering, we can start to get some of the lanterns up and some of the street lights or whatever. We can try and sort of incorporate that into the build. But yeah, pretty happy anyway with the progress that we've made so far. So anyway, for this episode, what the goal is going to be is, number one, want to get myself some better tools. And that's the reason, or mostly the reason why, and I've got the steel ingots here. It's mostly the reason why we've got so much stuff here, because so much of the steel, because I wanted to get that running. And we've got some 4 in here. I need another 4, so I'm just going to get that in there for now. I'm going to let that heat back up again. So yeah, the reason anyway for wanting to get that particular amount, the 36 of the steel ingots, if you remember, was so that we could get the tool forge, so we can kickstart this, get in the better stuff. Because this is going to require 4 of the dense steel plates, and each one of those is going to take 9. So let's get into the compressor, and let's pop those in there and make the steel plates. And that's going to try to put that into the blast furnace. So hopefully, in fact, it won't, because that's filtered onto fluid cells, which is fine. So yeah, I'm just going to wait for that to turn all into the steel that we need, and that's turning that into blocks, which was that was not what I wanted at all. I need to turn those into plates first of all, so just wasted a bit of fuel there. Right, so where were we? What do we need? Oh yeah, we need the metal former. We need to turn all of those into plates first of all, and then we can put it into the compressor. So yeah, once that's done, I'll be back. Okay, so a little while later, we've got our dense plate, and hopefully that has done, yeah, that has done what it needs to do. We're going to need those later, and we can head on over to here, and now we can put these bits together. So we need that there, that there, that there, and yeah, I can't even remember what it was we need in the middle. How bad is that I can't remember what the recipe is for? Oh yeah, we need a tool station as well. In fact, let's just take those bits and pieces back out again and get our tool station made. That's just a crafting station and a blank pattern. So let's grab that. We've got some blank patterns in here. So grab one of those, pop that in there, pop that there. There is our tool station. 3 of those across the top, 2 of those there, 2 of those there. And there is our tool forge. So now we can get rid of that and we can pop the tool forge there. We're not going to need that anymore, so we'll just pop that in there for now. Cool. Right, so I've grabbed some bits and pieces in here. I've still got loads of glass in here. I'm just gradually trying to clear this out because I did at one point think I was going to use clear glass for the windows, but yeah, it didn't quite work out. So we've got some gold in here. I think that's, yeah, that has run all the way out. So we've got some gold in here. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to create a sharpening kit, because I just want to see whether or not we can put one onto here. I think I've potentially used up any of the modifiers that I had in here, but I can't remember now how we make the sharpening kit cast. So can we just make a normal wooden? Can we not do that? Sharpening kit, but we need the sharpening kit pattern, right? So we've got that. So let's pop into here. Let's put some wood. Can we put some wood in here? Good. Snip into here. Let's grab out our sharpening kit pattern and into there. Right. So there is a wooden. There is the wooden sharpening kit. And let's take that out. Pop that into here. Pull the gold over there. And now let's turn that. Is that finished? It has. Let's turn that onto the obsidian and get that made. And I think, fairly sure, do we need a bit of flint for this as well? We probably do. And I'm not sure whether or not we've got any flint. Kind of hoping we have. Oh, we have. Cool. Right, let's grab a piece of flint. In fact, let's grab a few because I'm not sure again how many it needs. And let's eat really quickly. Keep forgetting to do that all the while as usual. Right, so let's grab our sharpening kit. And that doesn't seem to be auto working anymore. That's probably a good thing, to be honest. Just take that out just in case. Pop that away because we're not going to need that anymore. Now the obsidian sharpening kit is made combined with flint. So if we go into, I guess, to here, we'll pop this in here. We'll pop in the sharpening kit and we'll pop in the bit of flint. Okay, cool. It did. Well, I did have another. I'm not sure whether or not that just didn't actually take up a modifier, but that's fine. So we can now grab ourselves some cobalt. But let's make the rest of the bits and pieces that we need for this first of all, because we need to make some more casts. So we are going to need the excavator head, we're going to need the hammer head, and we're going to need the broad axe pattern. We're going to need large plates, tough bindings, and we are also going to need tough tool rods. I think that's all we need. Okay, so got all the casts done, and I just want to head into the nether now and just grab some cobalt, because I want to use that for the heads for our new bits of kit. Okay, so I try and remember where, yeah, there is cobalt in a fair few places, but it's pretty dicey getting across here because there's a lot of lava and it's also quite a big space. So there's some up there, so probably try and grab that if we can. Let's grab this while we're here. Gotta say, it's pretty good being able to grab this stuff now. And yeah, big enough space for plenty of ghasts to spawn. So grab that. Say I'm just going to go with quite a simple design at first, and trying to get out of here. It's so easy to break netherrack. Find yourself digging yourself into trouble. Right, there we go. So let's grab a few more bits of that. And yeah, if we grab some more of the ardite as well, like so. What is that down there? I thought that, you know, for some reason I thought that was a normal skeleton then, which would have been a bit of a pain. Quite lucky to have all this sitting around quite close to where we started out. There's some draconium ore there. Don't need that just yet. Cool. Don't think there's any more that easily accessible. There's a bit more over here. Let's just grab those bits, and we should be good. We can pop that into the smeltery and get ourselves some pretty decent stuff. I just want to grab as much as possible so that we don't have to make more than one trip if we don't have to. Like so. And a bit more here. Don't need a lot. I'm going to make the handles out of ardite. I don't think, is there any more? Did I just see something bouncing? Oh no. Oh, I did hear something bouncing about. How big is it? Quite big. Oh, these things are such a pain. Right, let's get rid of you really quickly, because I say they are a pain. Why? Yeah, my sword doesn't really seem to be doing a whole lot of damage. You know what? I'm just going to get myself out of here now. Although there's one more. Oh, I can hear a ghast. Oh, let's just get these bits really quickly and get out of here before disaster strikes. Cool. And cool. Right. And I think we kind of safe it stayed over there. Oh, can't get back that way. Got to go back this way. Oh, there's another bit over there. Messing around. Sorry about this. Right, there we go. That's that bit. And is there any more? Can't see any more. I think that'll do. Cool. Right. Let's get ourselves back. Okay, so we're back. And yes, I've grabbed myself a tough tool rod and I've smelted down the ardite. So I just want to make 3 handles first of all out of the ardite. And then we can move on to the other bits. And hopefully that won't take too long. Gotta say, I'm hoping this kind of works out. I can't remember quite how to do this now, but I want to make them so that they're repairable out of wood. And I'm fairly sure with the new version of Tinkers that if you make one of the plates out of wood, then the whole item becomes repairable out of wood. But we'll see. So let's just get this done. Then we can get the rest of the ardite out of there, and we can put the cobalt in. And then we will be able to make the heads. Right, so let's grab that. And how much ardite have we got left in there actually? I've only got 2 ingots, that's fine. So let's grab our ingot cast, which should be in here somewhere, I thought. Oh, it's here. What am I doing? Right, ingot cast, let's grab that. Let's grab those last 2 ingots of ardite out. And while that's doing that, let's throw the cobalt in there, so I don't think we'll be that slow. Right, grab that, grab that. Cool, right, we're safe. And that won't mix now. So just going to wait for that to do its thing. And is that done? It is. Let's grab that out. And so first of all, let's pop that back actually, pop that back. So we want the axe head, we want the hammer head, and we want the excavator head. And we want to sleep because otherwise we're going to have some problems. Cool, right. So let's pop this in here. Let's just turn this onto the cobalt. I'm hoping that's going to be enough cobalt. Okay, so that is all the parts made. And yeah, I'm going to apologise right now for the amount of cuts that there's been in the video already. But yeah, I didn't want to really just stand around and have the whole video be me making bits and pieces for Tinker's tools. So let's pop into here. We've got all the bits that we need. Now, second apology in the space of 2 seconds. I am gonna hope that this works, but in the previous packs that I've made, you could make one of the plates out of wood, and that whole item, as I say, would then be repairable out of wood. But I'm not sure whether that was just a config setting in that particular pack, but hopefully we'll find out. So, right, there we go. So well established. And if we hold shift, does that tell us? It doesn't actually tell you what it is repairable by. Well, I guess we'll find out when we start using it. But yeah, if it is like the old version of Tinker's where it's basically the head, then we'll be remaking that and we'll use cobalt in another bit, another component of the tool, because I really don't want to be going to have to find cobalt every time I want to repair a tool. So let's make the next thing, which is the excavator. And it's a handle, got the wooden bit there, and the head. And then finally, let's grab ourselves the lumber axe. So we've got all 3 of the main tools made. And did I not make myself? I thought I'd made myself 2 of these. Right, fine, let's grab another one of those. Go back into lumber axe, pop that in there, pop that on there. Cool, right. So as I say, that's all 3 of the main tools. Now we can go and get rid of all this other rubbish that we don't want to use anymore. I think that's probably only the shovel, which I haven't got. That's all been used up. So that's just literally that. And let's go and test this out. And then I do want to have a quick check and see whether or not it is repairable straight away with wood. But yeah, this is, let's just make sure there's nothing over here. This is definitely going to make getting stuff a lot easier, because obviously now we can just chop this down in one go. And let's just get in here like so. And that's taking a little bit of damage. We've also got a little bit of wood, but let's just go and check and just see whether or not it is repairable with wood. Fingers crossed. I really hope it is. Let's do it really quickly. Then we can move on to the next thing. Right, so let's pop this in here. Pop that in there. Please be wood. It is. Good. Right, so that hasn't changed. Fantastic. So yeah, so we've got some good stuff. And it's got pretty good durability as well. So we've got over 1,000 durability on that. The excavator nearly 1,000. And the mining speeds are not great at the moment, but we can add some more. We can add some redstone and stuff to get those up to speed. And then obviously we've got our pickaxe, which can now mine absolutely anything. Cool, right. So the next thing then is I want to move myself forward to the calculation age. Now, a bit of a derpy moment in the video where I moved up to the industrial age, where I was trying to sort of suss out exactly what it was that we needed to make to trigger each of the next stages. And of course it's right there on the left hand side of the book. So we need to make a calculator in order to move forward to the calculation age. And let's just have a quick look and see what that is going to take. So it's just the normal, it is just the normal calculator. Yeah, triggers age 2. So for that, we're going to need some cobblestone. We're going to need a screen, an assembly, and some buttons. The screen is just more cobble with a bit of redstone. And then the assembly is going to require some more cobblestone, some more buttons, and then the steel mechanical component, which is steel and a bit of copper, which is the reason why we grabbed the additional steel over here, which is all done. So let's just grab ourselves some copper as well. And I thought I did have a crafting table over here. I must have moved it when I was messing the floor about. Just means that there's crafting tables where we need them the most, but that's fine. So steel, 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 and a bit of copper in the middle, and that is the component. We need to go and grab a load of cobble, which I probably haven't got a load of. 37 pieces. Kind of hoping that should be enough. So we're going to need some buttons. We need normal stone for that, don't we? Which I've got as well. So let's grab that out as well. Right, let's make some buttons. I'm not sure how many we needed for that. Let's just make a bunch of those and go back into here. So I've got the calculator, so the actual assembly done, and then the screen. We need a bit of redstone, so let's grab out one bit of redstone, and then we can make the screen like so, and then finally we should be able to put the whole thing together like so. And there we go. So move forward to age 2, a little bit more progress. And then, so here we need to charge this, but first of all, let's have a look at the book and just have a quick look and see what it says about the calculation age. So we can generate our first RF power, and we've got 3 options. So the hand crank generator from calculator, the clockwork engine from forestry, clicking charges it up. So they're both manual. I really don't want that. And the survival generator from FTB Utilities. So I use the survival generator pretty much everywhere as my first RF, and I'm not going to make any exceptions here. So it says it generates less power, but yeah, needs no maintenance. I certainly don't want to stand there clicking stuff and cranking stuff, that is for sure. And the only option to store power is the power cube from calculator. It only stores power and can charge items, but doesn't output power to other blocks. Cool, right, so we need to make ourselves, we need to sleep really quickly. Cool, right, so that is that done. I've managed to get myself to sleep on time every time so far, so we've kept the mob spawns to just what's under the ground. So let's make this power cube first of all. Power cube, is it all one word? It isn't, right, cool. Calculator, so a bit more cobble, a block of redstone, compressed coal balls, and we make coal ball from crushed coal and some flint. And yeah, we got the flint, but I'm kind of thinking to myself that we possibly don't have any coal, which is a little bit of a pain. In fact, it's more than a little bit of a pain, it's quite a lot of a pain. Okay, so got all the coal that we need, and it is still daytime. Good. And now we can head over to the macerator, and we're going to need to use, did I not put any charcoal back in here? I'm going to have to use some of this coal, aren't I, let's pop some of that in there while we remember. It's a bit of a pain. I'm hoping that I've got enough now, so let's just put a few pieces of this in here just so that we've got enough. Can we take that out? In fact, no, let's take that out as well, and just drop that on the floor for a minute. So let's macerate this coal down. Probably won't do all of it actually. Can we get some of this stuff put away just so I'm not holding quite as much? We don't need any of that at the moment. Good, right, so just waiting for that to turn into colder. So what else do we need for this? So it's basically just a compressed coal ball, so we're going to need 2 of those. So we're going to need 18. We're going to need 18 pieces of this. Okay, so that's our coal done. And yeah, I've kind of noticed so far there hasn't been anything recipe-wise that's been particularly hard to do. There has been a lot of waiting around, so yeah, definitely we need to start automating some more stuff and perhaps just thinking ahead a little bit. So we got that, and we need to head back over to here so that we can make the coal balls, and then back over to the other side again to get them compressed. So we want 2 of those, and then we want to surround that with the coal dust, 2 coal balls, and so then head over to the compressor. And yeah, in between episodes I'm going to cut down a bunch of trees so that we don't have to worry about running out of power again, because that was definitely a bit of a pain having to start using coal for that kind of stuff. So let's pop these bits and pieces in here while we're over here. And incidentally, that reminds me, these ejector upgrades, Link kindly told me that if you hit the ejector upgrade on the side of the machine that you want to use, or click it onto the side of the machine, it should set it. Maybe you can only have one at a time. No, it just seems to, is it shift click? It is. Cool. Right, so let's do that one, and let's do that one, and we can get that re-automated again, so we can pop that back into there. Was that the right place for it? It was. And we can pop that into there as well. Cool. Right, yeah, so that's what that all done again. And let's grab that out of the compressor. So we've got our 2 bits and pieces there. Let's head on back over to the crafting table. I don't know why I always do this to myself. Make bases so big that you end up running about all over the place. We need 9 pieces of that. And we turn that into a block like so. We've got some more cobble, so we should be able to pop that together. Right, there's our power cube. Now, the other thing, let's go back into the book. While I was waiting for the coal, I read down on this a little bit further, and it says that you can also craft the coal generator from actually additions. And yeah, I would prefer that over the Survivalist Generator, but I'm guessing, I haven't looked at the recipe for it yet. I'm guessing there must be something that's holding us back from making that. So we need reinforced stone. Oh, so we need to make the calculator in order to make that. I thought there would be. So yeah, the Survivalist Generator anyway, that was what we wanted. So Survivalist Generator, we're probably only going to use this for a very, very short period of time. And that is what we wanted the other 4 pieces of steel for. I remember now. So let's grab that. And I think, do we need anything else? Probably need some flint, I don't know. Let's grab that anyway. Seem to have used quite a bit of flint today. So at last that has a use. So let's quickly make, oh, we need a bit of copper. I knew I'd forget something. No worries, we'll go and grab a bit now. And hopefully let's just grab a bunch of that for now. And then yeah, we can get this done. And I'll feel like we've actually started the age then. So in fact, let's make that first. So we've got that. And then we should be able to make one of those. And then finally, we need 2 more bits of redstone. 1 or 2 bits of redstone. Pop that in there, pop that there. And there's our Survivalist Generator, which we've now got no coal for, but we've got some charcoal over there. So I guess we'll put that just here for now. So we'll pop that there. And we can put this inside there. We haven't got any more wood, have we? We're going to go and rectify that pretty soon. Pop that in there. So that's going to be making us some power. Pop the power cube next to it. Cool. And then we can put the calculator inside there. And yeah, and that is now going to start filling up with power. And hopefully, don't know how much RF that takes. I think 1,000. It does, right, 1,000. So we got that. And let's just have a quick look again at what the coal generator required us to do inside the calculator. So coal coke. That's fine, we can do that. We're going to need some more coal in order to be able to make that though. But yeah, the reinforced stone is just cobblestone and any piece of wood. So let's quickly grab some of that. Like so. Injure ourselves on the way through. Let's just grab some more of that. And I'm not too worried about grabbing these saplings up for now. If you wonder why I'm just wandering off, because we've got so many of them that we're going to be able to replace those quite easily. But I'm going to actually, rather than just having individual trees, now we've got the lumber axe, I'm going to grow it all together so it grows up in one big clump. And then the lumber axe is going to be able to chop that down all in one go. So we'll be able to get an absolute ton of wood. Alright, so we will put half of that in there. So that is making us some more charcoal. And I guess I've not used this calculator before. So how do we actually... Oh, there we go. Just click it in the air. So some of that, and let's grab a bunch of that. Good. And yeah, we need some coal coke. Did I think I just burnt all my coal, didn't I? Oh, I didn't. That's quite handy. So we'll pop that into the coke oven at first. In fact, let's just take that out and put the coal in there. We need 2 pieces of that. So get that going. And then finally we need an iron casing and an advanced machine block. Yeah, which needs all kinds of stuff. So we need advanced alloy. Cool, right. I'm going to carry on with that in the next episode because we haven't really got enough time to start getting into advanced alloy and stuff. But yeah, pretty pleased. We've got some really, really good tools. So I can actually get, in between this episode and the next episode, I can get some meaningful mining done. So yeah, resources are a bit on the low side. So we can get that sorted. We can get a load of wood and get this done. It's going to be probably, incidentally, it's probably going to be quicker getting wood this way. Still manual, but yeah, just grabbing it this way with the lumber axe and then throwing all of that. I've got to stop doing that. I'm probably going to put a door there actually, just so we don't have to worry about climbing over that ladder. I only put that there just for the meantime while I was building a fence around the outside. Which means we're a little bit safer because the cave entrance is on the other side. But yeah, it's probably a little bit quicker to grab it that way and then bung it all in there than it is at the moment with getting involved with one of the progressive automation machines. We're still going to make one of those, but that'll be kind of like passively filling this up. It's not going to be able to grab wood quick enough for the rate that we're kind of needing it for over in the machines over here. Sorry about that, I moved the mouse really quick. But yeah, as I say, I'm going to stop waffling. That is going to be it. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've got through onto the calculation age. Yeah, got to say, I am really, really enjoying things at the moment. Going to get some more of this done as well. But yeah, if you like the video, then drop us a like. Always, always appreciated. And as always, guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Take care. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.